Hi, it's here. It's the night before language paper 2. I'm sitting on my sofa. I'm done with my office. I have done enough today in my office, and I am sitting on my sofa, as I said, because I don't want to see my office again for a while. I said goodbye to all my GCSE students. I saw most of them in some form today, and I'm exhausted, and you are exhausted, but save a bit of energy, because tomorrow you wave goodbye to your language papers, and that will be a joyful thing. So, the few people that have watched my videos so far, and I'm not surprised, I'm only just starting out. This time next year, when I'm not your concern anymore, I will hopefully have far more people listening to me. Well done for getting so far. I know some of you are very near the end. So, wonderful. Language paper 2. Look at my previous videos. Question 5 and question 4 is done. Question 3 is done. Rest breaks, extra time. I talked about all of them. This is about question 2 and just a little recap on what to do with the general approach to language paper 2. Question 2 is inference. You do not have to analyze language. If you follow my method, as in, this is the first time listening to me, what a joy. You're going to do the paper backwards to get the big questions out of the way first. You hand in the paper. Nobody knows what order you've done the questions in. But the method is do the 40-mark question first when you're fresh, 9 o'clock, 9:15, whatever time you start. You don't need to read the paper first. You do not need to read that paper for 15 minutes, as they say on the front. You just need to get on, start writing straight away. Regular time, you've got 45 minutes. Extra time, you've got 55 minutes. I recommend starting with that question, get it out the way. If you flag, if your brain goes, help me, I've done too much work, you are only jeopardizing the smaller mark questions. In terms of rest breaks, I would suggest you give yourself a break in the middle, whether you feel tired or not, in the middle of your persuasive writing. And give yourself a break afterwards, and give yourself a break after question 4. The rest is up to you. You have 1.5 minutes per mark, which means once you start the comprehension questions, question 4, you have half an hour. Regular time, you have 24 minutes. You break that down in 2/3. You only write about what you have read. All of this is in the previous video. You move on to question 3. You try and get 10 quotes done. 10. Okay, there are 12 marks available. The easiest way to get the marks is to write analysis. And every time you write some analysis, you get a mark for it. Yes, so I'd say 5. And I may as well carry on with the hand signals. 5, 4, 3, and then 1, 2. End on question 2 because it is the trickiest. The question should just relate to a small part of A and a small part of B, texts-wise. If it's a walk through the countryside and there's a paragraph about a mountain, that's going to be what they ask you about. And you compare it to how do the writers feel about the mountain, what can you infer from what they say. That means you look at a quote like, "It was magnificent," and you don't say, "Use of the adjective magnificent suggests." You say, when the writer states it's magnificent, this implies we can infer that he is incredibly impressed by it and may have never seen anything like it before in his life. Then you compare it to B and say, whereas in text B, the writer feels blank about it because they've said this. Inference. A versus B, A versus B, A versus B. Try and aim for 3 of those comparison couples, and you'll get yourself 6 marks. If you leave it to the end and you're looking through, sometimes the text, they might shove the information in throughout the text, in which case you've got a slightly harder job. But that's all you're supposed to do. look at the words describing the thing, the mountain, the car ride, the food, and instead of analysing, say, what does this tell us about that thing? You know, inference, it's the meaning you get from the way something is described. It's not the same as analysis. It's not the same as tearing that word apart. It's saying, like I just said, the word magnificent, from that we can infer that the person's never seen anything quite so wonderful in his life. Okay, that's it.